Ciao, lovelies. Hey there. This is Reverend Sky. I hope everyone is having the day that they deserve. There's a bunch to talk about today, so I'm going to kind of get into it. Today, we're talking about ceremony. What it is. What do you do? Do you do it by yourself? Is it different than a ritual? What else we got? The types of ceremony and how to prepare for one. Because I do them. Not right now, obviously, because of the pandemic. I've been typically doing them online. But we do gather around a bonfire and have ceremonies once a month on the full moon here in southwest Indianapolis. So, anyways. Alright, so what is a ceremony? A ceremony is used to navigate change and to bring in new cycles. It's like a rebirth, if you will, a bringing the sacred into your 3D reality. For shamans, the world is a dream, and we are active participants in creating that dream through our words and thoughts. So allowing ourselves to transmute or change that energy and those words that are coming out of us and in us is, we're connected to everything. So if we can change it inside here, then we'll be able to change it for other people around us as well, which is fantastic. As far as what do you do for a ceremony, you will, first of all, you need to be open to love. You need to be open to accepting it from those that are in with you. If you're in a group, you need to be ready to give love to those that are with you. Or if you're alone, you need to be ready to give it to yourself. That is super important, and a lot of us forget that. But at the same time that we're in that circle supporting everyone on their own journey, we might forget that we're on our own as well. Like, we have our journey, and we need to have a little bit more compassion and patience and love for what we're going through, and the choices that we make. The next thing would be to create an intention. It's basic, what you're wanting to get rid of, what you need to work on, what you need to let go of, people, places, things, all sorts. It's creating that one thing that you're going to focus on, or a handful of things if you're feeling frisky. Things that you need to get rid of, let go out of your life, all negative patterns, all this fun stuff. Next is staying focused, because during a ceremony, sometimes they can last a little bit depending upon how many people are with you. And if you're doing your own, sometimes you get into it and realize, holy crap, a couple hours have gone by, and not everyone can stay focused for that long. So remember, oh, hello, let's go straight. Well, never straight, always forward. Anyways, but the idea is to stay focused and remember that you're here, you're in ceremony to do something better with your life and for yourself. And in that, you should be able to, at least for a little while, stay focused and bring it all up and be able to let it go. The next thing is, while you're being focused, what's nice about shamanic ceremonies, at least, is that you're able to be engaged. You don't just stand there and watch other people. You have a noisemaker of some sort, either sticks you're banging together, a drum you brought, a tambourine, anything that you might use to make noise. That way that you can start chanting. Anything, any kind of noisemaker, they all work. But you will be actively doing that while other people are taking their turns around the fire. Why does this keep moving? I keep looking like this. All right, that's fun. Apparently I'm saying something somebody doesn't want me to say, which is why I started doing this. So the difference between a ceremony and a ritual. A ritual is something that is done daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. They're practices Every morning I get up and I'm thankful for what I have. Whether or not I'm in a great situation, whatever's happening that day, I'm still grateful that I have my health and my brain, and I'm kind of fond of myself, so there's a few things I'm grateful for. But, my children's being healthy and my children being happy where they are at. And this, there's a ton of different things you can give gratitude for. The land you're on, you're helping spirits when they're, whether or not they're there with you right that second, which they are, but you can still thank them for being there. So it's kind of something that you do on a regular basis. Something that you intentionally do this as a reminder to yourself, and it's something you keep doing. Now, ceremonies have specific outcomes. They have a specific reason that you're doing the ceremony. There's a specific time, a specific place. There's a specific order of things that are going to occur, and it's very, what's the word? It's well thought out. If I went to the forest and I wanted to do forest bathing, then I could go to the forest and do forest bathing by myself, and I would call it a ritual. Unless I did something beforehand, like asking my helping spirits and my guardian angels to come in and walk with me or show me some stuff, or, I'm having my heart hurts today. I still can't get over this guy. So, I go and I ask for help. I go and I ask for peace. I ask for calm. And if I'm just in the forest and it just helps, then that's great. That would just be forest bathing. But when I start inviting people in, and I start inviting it and making it an open affair, and or invite friends, then it becomes a ceremony. It's, to honor the trees, and you bring healing. If you just want to go and walk around and get the good juju, that's awesome. But you need to communicate with the trees and ask them for healing, and do, a little bit of stuff beforehand if you want it to be a ceremony. It doesn't have to be a big woo-woo deal, but you probably should ask. That's nice. You like people asking before they come to your house, I'm sure. So think of it that way. Anyways, there's preparation, there's a specific outcome, and then there's an ending for a ceremony. Rituals can happen over and over and over and over. And sure, you can do the same ceremony a few times, because sometimes it doesn't click in one time. But, again, there are some differences. No. Alright. So, working in a group or alone, yes. Obviously, you can do both. Working in a group is very powerful because you're bringing everybody's positive energy into the circle, and it's more of a community affair. So it does become more powerful because you have more people. But doing it one-on-one, doing these little things for yourself, whether you think they're silly or not, can be extremely powerful because you're doing it for you. And in itself, that makes it powerful. Because it's something that you're giving to yourself because, well, you know what? You deserve it. And that's just fine. All right, so the different kinds, they'll use earth, we use fire, we use water, we use air, wind, directions, we use spirit. Ceremonies have been used for how many thousands of years, for turning points in a child's life, like a quinceañera, rites of passage. They, some of us call those traditions, where in reality they are ceremonies because they're welcoming a new cycle, which, funny that, welcoming a baby shower, gender reveals. A baby shower is like a ceremony for the parents. Here, let us as a community help you because you're having a baby. Think of that. Coming of age ceremonies, all sorts of weddings, birthdays, funerals, all ceremonies. celebrating a new cycle or the end of a cycle. It's funny if you think about the terms. Same, whatever. So now that we know that there's different ways to do ceremonies, there's different things you can do ceremonies for. And of course, the ones I just mentioned, the baby showers, weddings, funerals, all these things, birthdays, those are all ceremonies. And you could almost call that a tradition because it's every year, but it's more of a ceremony because there's preparation and intent. You are preparing because you want this person to have a great time and you're celebrating their life. Ceremony. I've done ceremonies for a lot of different things, and I made a list because there's a couple. Releasing old wounds, burdening thoughts, unwanted energies, old habits and patterns, shame, guilt, fear, anger, negativity, despair, feeling cursed, resentment, closure, starting new cycles, celebrating life. I will be doing an honorable closure ceremony here as soon as I can where people can come. We've all lost a lot more people than necessary this year that are close to us. For whatever reason, they're gone. And some of us aren't very happy about it. So keep your eye out for the honorable closure ceremony. Now, as far as all of those ceremonies, it's essentially the same lineup when you get to the ceremony. But your intention, what you need to work on that time, what you're focused on is going to be different every time. And sometimes you're going to feel up to doing 2 or 3. I've had people do 5 or 6. You never know. So once you start figuring out what you need to work on and you start preparing to come to ceremony, you will set your intention. Like I said, it'll be your main focus. Mine is a lot of letting go of stuff from my childhood that is, makes me angry. I wasn't always fair, but que sera, sera, I'm here now. So, that's going to be personal to you. And whether or not you share that is completely and absolutely up to you 100%. After ceremonies, we will usually hang out. People will ask questions. We'll sit and chat for a while. And some people just go home. But, there will be little groups that go off that want to talk about their experience. That, maybe someone was crying. Maybe someone was, couldn't deal and they just fell to the ground. There's all sorts of stuff that happens when these emotions start coming up, and an actual release, an actual lifting up out of the body to where it's gone and you feel that freedom of self again can sometimes be very, very overwhelming. That's why there's no looky-loos, there's no nothing like that. Like, if you come, you're in. 10 days, once you've picked your intention, once you've set that, then you're going to create something called a spirit arrow. And that is what you will blow your intention in and put in the fire. Once you have created your spirit arrow, it is anything burnable. Anything. And I mean, if all you do is go in the backyard and pick up a few leaves and rope them together to look like a smudge stick, or you go get some sticks and you put those together, or anything. You have a piece of wood from somebody that you don't need to be around anymore, so you're going to bring that wood and you're going to throw it in the fire to represent letting go of them. Whatever it is, as long as it's burnable, no plastics, come on now, none of that crap. It has to be burnable or dissolvable. Bubbles will also work if you want to do that. I mean, I know it's fun, but during almost any ceremony you can use bubbles to release things. So you'll create that spirit arrow, and everybody's will look different because some people are going to spend some time and get crafty with it. Others are going to wait till they get to where we're doing it and they'll pick up a random stick on the ground. It really is as important as you make it. And don't do what I do and get super weird and have to have it perfect, because then I overanalyze it, Virgo. So yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. This is just something you're going to blow it into, and then you're going to burn it. So you're only going to see it for a little while. You'll be embarrassed. Everyone's, like I said, everyone's is different. Next, you'll have your spirit arrow, you've got your intention. Now, what you need to do is about 10 days a week before the ceremony, I want you to start thinking about all those things. Like I said, for me, it was my childhood. I once was an ex. I had to bring up all of the pain, all the anger, all the frustration, shame, guilt, and bring it all up. Bring it all up and then tuck it back for a second. Bring it up every day, 7 to 10 days before the ceremony. Look in deep places. Every day you bring it up and you get some of it up here. The next day you do it, you'll find out there's more. So keep digging, keep digging, keep digging. Bring all of that crap up. And then during the ceremony, you're going to let all of that go. So really get focused on all the emotions that you felt during that time, the different emotions that you felt, oh God, all of it. Yeah, bring it all up. Whatever you're going to let go of, you just keep digging. Keep digging. Maybe there's spots hiding in your toe. We don't know yet. Just keep digging 7 to 10 days before, even if you spend 10, 15 minutes. But if it pissed you off, get mad. For those 10, 15 minutes, you get angry. You remember that anger. You get in there, you get deep, and you bring that anger up, and you be ready to explode. And then you tuck that for a few days for me. And then during that ceremony, we'll let it go. The fun part about ceremonies for me is the noise, the music. Everyone brings a noisemaker, like I was saying. Everyone has something, and like I said, you can go buy a drum, you can go buy, the maracas, you can go buy spoons, you can go buy rattles, you can go buy a tambourine. I don't care. You can go buy something, or you can go to Goodwill, or you can go to the dollar store, you can go somewhere else and get a wooden spoon and a pot. Doesn't matter. But everyone is expected to bring a noisemaker. And if you don't bring one, then you're singing. So if you don't want to sing, I would suggest you remember to bring something. Or you grab 2 rocks when you get there, and yeah, buddy, that's what you're doing today, is you're hitting these rocks together as long as this goes. So make sure you're going to be comfortable, because, an hour and a half, 2-hour ceremony where you're making music and digging deep, and there's stuff happening, remember, you're not superhuman. Maybe you are. And if you are, let me know, because that would be cool to watch. But everyone is fully and completely engaged. There is no other way to put it. That's the final thing, is full engagement only. If you're there, if you're coming to look at the fire, then you don't get to sit on the outskirts. You don't get to sit on the bleachers. You don't get to sit in a chair unless you have issues. And then, just ignore me. But no, you don't get to watch. You don't get to come see what it's about, and maybe next time you'll join in. No. If you're coming, we're holding hands at the very beginning, and you're a part of the circle, or you're in the parking lot. Sorry. And if you know me, I have no issue telling someone to leave. It's kind of a favorite thing to do. Not sure if that says anything nice about me or not. God. Anyways. So, that's it, guys. Look, we got through all these notes. Look at us. So, what is a ceremony? A ceremony it's a transformation. It's a rebirth. So many fun things. I gotta tell you, I really enjoy them myself. I'm doing one Wednesday, as a matter of fact. But bringing the sacred into your everyday life by doing these little ceremonies, by doing your own rituals at home, those things can really start making a difference as you open yourself up to bigger and better and more. And sometimes that's all it takes. It's just the willingness, just the okay, all right, let's do this. Just that is sometimes good enough to make just that one little clicky, one little flip of the switch. Sometimes that's all we need. So, that was it. You guys, we did it. All right. What is a ceremony? What do I do during one? The difference between a ceremony and a ritual, you now know. And most of the rituals that we do, most of the traditions that we have, end up being ceremonies, which is awesome. You can do it by yourself. Absolutely. Like I said, it is sometimes more powerful to be in your own and to hold space for you. That's hard. That's a very hard one. And you're not expected to do it by yourself. That's why other people join in groups. That's why we, as a community, we've come together. And the last one had almost 30 people at it. I'd say that's a good little group holding space for somebody that they don't know very well. It was awesome. The types of ceremony: earth, air, fire, water, spirit. We will use them all. And hopefully sooner than later, we'll be able to get together again. And preparing for ceremony, it's not hard. You set your intention. You create a spirit arrow. You get fully engaged. You do the inner work before you get to the ceremony, and then you let me take over. Well, geez, guys, I think this is it. Really enjoyed this one. Ceremonies are a favorite of mine. If you need help with one, if you're going to do one and you need, maybe someone standing behind you with some guidance, let me know. I love doing them. They are a favorite. I do weddings as well. I am ordained. Like, follow, subscribe, and as always, if you have any requests or suggestions for more videos, drop them in the comments below. I'm getting lots in my DM, not so many in the comments, so that does help me if you know. Anyways, may you all be well, above, below, and within. Ciao, lovelies. I love you.